Hi, my name's Leisha and welcome to episode 6 of the Year of Actually Trying. It feels like it's been a little while since I've posted one of these videos. I thought I'd just update you with where my thoughts are around this project, this kind of series that I'm doing this year, and also just some more thoughts around like the perfectionism slash, well, I guess it's not really a slash, but perfectionism and momentum side of it, because that's something that's really been on my mind recently, because I haven't posted this when I was hoping to, and part of that is just life things. I had really bad eye eczema, which it's fine. There's nothing wrong with coming on camera with eye eczema, but they were very red and very crusty and uncomfortable. And so, yeah, I just didn't really get around to filming this when I was hoping that I would. And yeah, I guess it just kind of got me thinking around perfectionism and momentum. So when I've been thinking about that, there's kind of been this realization, I guess, that I've had around my perfectionism and also my need for momentum when it comes to kind of creative projects or things that I'm doing for myself. Because perfectionism can make you feel very stuck, but there's quite a specific type of stuck that it's formed for me here, where it hasn't been stuck with getting started or giving things a go. It's more been the in between. So when I've been in between videos, I've kind of thought like, I really enjoy this, but should I bother to keep doing it? I guess like that's kind of come into my head a little bit, which is really weird because I've been really enjoying it. When I do it, I feel like, yes, this is great. This is like really enjoyable. It's a creative outlet. I'm like learning new things. I love this. But then in between, for some reason, if I don't have the momentum side of things, I find that I just kind of get quite stuck. So that is what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk a little bit about perfectionism, a little bit about momentum, and how those two things are kind of combining for me in this series, and I guess what I'm kind of hoping I will be doing going forward. So I know I've mentioned in a previous episode, but I have definitely found that the actual sharing process, like once I've actually created something and sharing it, that has been a lot easier than I thought it would be. So I don't mean in the sense of actually making it and editing it, like that all takes a lot of time, but more in the sense of it being out there. Like that hasn't bothered me, and my perfectionism hasn't come to play as much as I thought it would when it comes to that side of the content creation. Where it's kind of come up for me is in between posts. So a series I've done in the past, which was tracking 3 habits for 33 days, with that series, I was doing it every single day. I was editing every day. I was filming every day. I was posting every day. And so there wasn't time for me to have this kind of drop in momentum. And I had to just keep going. And I'm not saying for 1 minute that I think that is necessarily sustainable. I think that for a lot of people it might be, but also for a lot of people that is not, it's not sustainable. We all have other things that we have to do and life comes into it, and so yeah, it can kind of be hard to rely on that form of momentum. So with what I'm doing now, I'm not posting every day, and I'm also going through phases where I'm not having time to like create in any way every day as well. So this is where I've kind of been losing momentum, and as I've lost momentum, the like perfectionist tendencies will like crawl back in, and they'll kind of be like, oh, don't bother filming anything, like it's fine, it doesn't really matter. Or I'll kind of overthink whatever I'm making next. So this video, for example, because it's delayed, I've like really overthought like what I should actually share in this video. And then luckily I kind of settled on, okay, I should probably just talk about like what I'm going through, I guess, with it. And yeah, it feels good to be doing that. And I think when you're working with momentum when it comes to something new, you kind of just keep trusting in what you're doing a lot more. So you're like, oh, yesterday I edited it like this, but I'll try this today, and oh, that looked quite cool, so I'll try that the next day, and oh, I've just seen this today, so I'll maybe have a go at doing that in my video tomorrow. And you can kind of like keep it rolling along a lot easier, which means that like you're just in this constant state of trying rather than kind of putting something out there, sitting back, okay, think, what's next? What could be next? Should I try this? Oh, I don't know. Or maybe I should try that. I'm not sure. You don't really have time to be doing that. And so that's where I think like the connection between momentum and perfectionism has been or is really important for me right now. Something else that really comes up for me when I have that time to sit back and kind of plan what's next is that I start to kind of I start to self edit or self censor like what I want to share and what I don't know, like I maybe kind of think, oh no, I won't share that yet, or I won't talk about that yet, and this sort of thing, which again, I just kind of think like I really like watching people who are sharing like truly what's going on in their life or what's happened, or if they've been through loss or relationship things, friendship things, like all that sort of stuff. Like I like to see that, and so I'm like, you should kind of create what you love. And yeah, sitting back kind of puts me into this place of, oh, I better not actually, which I don't know. I think that there are definitely things that aren't always the best to share, or maybe kind of considering how you share them is important, but there's also things that really help build connection with people, and that's one of the things that I really want to do through sharing more online. So just as a heads up, for my next video I'm actually going to share some of the books and maybe films, although I'm not a massive film person, so I might have to preface it by saying that because I basically just watch the same films all the time. I also really like animated films, and I feel like, yeah, if someone comes across a video and thinks, oh, films, and they're actually into films, they probably would think, this girl knows nothing about films, which is true. But for my next video, I'm thinking about sharing books and films that have kind of helped me with my grief after losing my mum. And I think that that is kind of getting that balance of like what's constructive and helpful for other people who might be going through something to hear, and what could actually just kind of be like trauma dumping on people, which is something that there is a lot of online. So I mentioned this earlier, but there also is just the aspect of losing momentum because of life. So as I said, eczema, it was not good, but also, you know, people have jobs, like I do this alongside a job, and that has been very busy recently. And then there's also just life things of like going out with your friends, seeing family, having a family, like raising a family, and all that kind of stuff. It can just really get in the way of all these other things that we want to do. And for me, I've noticed that not always in the sense of time, I have been able to dedicate time to this, which has been good, but there has been a kind of limit of like time to maybe explore filming in different areas or filming at different angles, like even things like that. Having the time to figure that stuff out has been something that I have struggled with, which has again made me kind of lose momentum, and then also on top of that made me kind of dip into perfectionism, where I've kind of beat down a little bit on what I've been able to do with the time and resources that I have. And I think a really big point on this topic in this area, where it's kind of around scheduling and how you make it work around things, a schedule that works isn't the one that sounds the most impressive. It's the one that you can actually sustain. That's the one that works. That's the one that is a success. So yeah, kind of just saying that to myself, I guess. So I guess that's my thoughts for this episode. How to kind of work through perfectionism, how to keep momentum, how to kind of not let those two things get mixed up with each other, because I do think that has happened to me a little bit over the past week, where I've had to step back because of life things, but then I've got in my head about what I'm actually sharing. But I don't know. I guess that's just the way it will be sometimes. And also, that's the whole point of this series and why it's titled The Year of Actually Trying, because I'm trying. Like, that's the whole point of it, is that I'm just trying. And whether that's very imperfectly or messy or, just kind of trying to figure things out, like, that's the whole point of it. And so, yeah, I think sometimes I have to remind myself a little bit of that. As I've said before, and obviously in this video, I am a bit of a perfectionist, and so sometimes I can fall into the trap of maybe looking at what others are doing and thinking, I need to figure out how to do that, when, yeah, like, I'm not there yet in my learning of all of this. So that is it for today. I am looking forward to the next one. I think that although the topic itself obviously isn't a super cheery topic, I'm hoping that, like, the things that I share will interest some of you and also give you some things for your TBR list, because yeah, I feel like you don't have to have gone through that specific type of grief to relate to the things that I'm going to share. So yeah, I'm hoping that it will be interesting for you. It's a little bit different for me, but yeah, I guess we'll see how it goes. Anyway, thank you for watching today's video, and have a lovely day wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one.